With world news outlets descending on Atlanta, Philadelphia, and Phoenix, I decided that first floor news had to be present for this historic event. I went to a Protect the Vote rally at the home of the Atlanta Hawks in downtown Atlanta to better understand the concern these dozens of Trump supporters have with our democratic process.
What are you out here for?
We're out here to support the fact that we woke up and our red state had been flipped to possibly blue. We disagree with that, so therefore here we are.
Do you mind explaining, is the lack of shoes a protest as well?
I just grew up barefooted on a farm behind a plow. I don't wear shoes unless I'm absolutely mandatory made to, and then it's 2% of my day.
Oh, he's known for it? Perfect, thank you.
If we all had signs, I'm not doing, you can't Monday morning quarterback, but we were too silent. We allowed them to scare us too much because we thought November 3rd was the answer. And we underestimated how crooked they are.
Do you mind elaborating on who them and they are?
The Democratic Party, not
okay.
Democratic. I believe now that hindsight's 2020, it's apparent that the steal was planned, very well orchestrated, not very smartly orchestrated, but
clearly
very organized. So much that you can see it so clearly. So, we'll see. But it is certainly not time to be quiet now. We've learned that lesson.
Do you mind asking me the question you asked me before I started rolling?
I asked you if you were with InfoWars.
So what is it about InfoWars?
I was trying to wait because I wanted to talk to you if you were. I adore InfoWars. It's where you go to if you want to get the truth. And, Alex has been exposing the globalist agenda for, it seems like decades. I can't remember back when I started listening to Alex. It was like pre-9/11. Like cassette tapes. But, he's right on. He's not 100% right, because none of us are. A lot of it is taking what we know about what they do, right? Like, we know what they say they're going to do. You start to see their patterns. He's a genius at knowing who they are, predicting where they're going. Now they're just making it obvious, but he's reminding us this is a war. This is a war for the world. They got to take down America to get there, right? You've got to eliminate the sovereignty of our country in order to get to what the globalist agenda is eventually going to be, and we're the last stand.
I think it has something to do with the deep state that Alex Jones has been screaming about. I used to think he was crazy, but I don't anymore. I no longer watch Fox News. I just watched InfoWars for the past 3 months. I guess I found him at just the right time, because this is insanity. It's insane. It is insane. Insane times we're living in. But it's also biblical. They said that, in the end times, people would think that they're going insane. People that were trying to spread the truth would think they're going crazy. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with the masks. I just started working down at the CDC, or I've been working down there off and on, but the last month we've been down there working on a parking deck. 2 days I went down there and went next to this anti-vaxxer guy. He's been down there for a year and a half before the COVID even started protesting, but I was look, you inspired me, man. I'm an anti-masker. I'm going to join your anti-vaxxer thing.
Why are you anti-mask?
I'm anti-mask because it's an outer expression that you've just accepted the narrative, and when they come along with this vaccine that they're trying to promote to everyone for this virus that only kills 99.9.6% of people who get it survive. And that's with the crazy numbers that they're using. And they don't even know how many asymptomatic people have gotten through it. You know what I'm saying? That's with the skewed numbers. It would be insane to take a vaccine for that. But wearing the mask is saying that you buy into the narrative, to me. And also, wearing a mask to stop the virus is like wearing a diaper to stop a fart.
Do you mind elaborating on that one?
Yes.
I'd love to hear more about that
analogy. You'd love to hear more about that analogy?
It's so small, it's like putting a chain link fence on your porch to keep the mosquitoes out.
Yes.
It ain't gonna happen.
Right. The coronavirus gets aerosolized. The CDC has admitted this. And they've also admitted that the mask only stops splatter, like literal liquid splatter. Once it gets aerosolized, in the air, it's just like a fart, right? So if a baby farts or whatever, is wearing a diaper, or if he sharts, it's gonna stop the literal shard, but you're still gonna smell that shit, right?
Sure.
It's the same thing as the virus getting stopped by this mask. It's aerosolized in the air. It's still gonna get you. It's just a false sense of security. It's just basically, I call it the New World Order hijab. That's what it is.
Every single ethnicity white, black, different shades of different colors are not recognized as separate in power or separate in distinction or class. In America only, only in America are all ethnicities welcome. That's why we have Chinese food. We have lots of Chinese people, and that's awesome. We have Mexican food and lots of Mexican people, and that's awesome. I love to eat French toast and French fries. I love, there's a lot of people that like to French kiss. We are a multi-ethnic culture, and always have been, and always will be, as long as we embrace that the blood covers all people, right? And that all people equally submit before the throne of grace. And we can keep using the calendar 2020 years in the year of our Lord, Anno Domini, right? Unless we want to throw that calendar out, and I don't know what we start with at that point.
Isn't that great?
I'm sorry?
I love that grave.